kind of the second follow-up part to our VTP and VLANs presentation. This is going to be going in and actually doing a demonstration, seeing how to set up VLANs and VTP on a switch. Now, let's see here. Some of the interesting things to start off with are, let's see, show VLAN brief, and that'll show us what, not brief. This will show us what VLAN is set up on here by default. Well, in this case, default, this switch has no config. It's basically fresh out of the box. I reset it, has nothing on it. So by default, as you can see, all of the Ethernet ports, the fast Ethernet port, the gigabit, are in VLAN 1. Now, 102, 103, 104, 105, those are all standard on every Cisco switch. Those are not going to change. You're not going to mess with them. They're there. The other nice command is show VTP status. Now, this is going to show us your information about VTP, the domain that you have set up, etc. So as you can see, let's see. VTP version, we're running VTP 1. It's VTP2 capable. The configuration version is 0. Nothing has been done on here. It is fresh. If somebody comes along with 1 or anything higher, it's going to take that configuration and put on the switch. Maximum number of VLANs, 1005. Different switches support different number of VLANs. This is a 3750, so it supports 1005. Number of existing VLANs is 5. That's default out of the box. VTP operating mode, it's starting off in server mode, which most switches do, which kind of makes it dangerous when you put a switch on the network that has a higher revision number. It's going to try and push its revision out to any switch that has a lower revision number. So that's really kind of dangerous if you don't have some things set up in place to stop that. By default, as you can see here, it has no VTP domain name. By default, they're all null. VTP pruning is disabled. VTP v2 mode is disabled. Traps generation, etc., etc. So let's go in here and start setting up VTP on our switch. To do that, go into configuration mode. Oh, first we have to go into enable mode. Then configure terminal. And I'm just going to cheat now, because I'm tired of typing. All right. We've already done this, but we'll do it anyway. First thing you probably want to do is VTP mode. And then you type in server, client, or transparent. In this case, I want it to be server. It's telling me it already is server, you dummy. But okay. We want to give it a VTP domain because we don't want to leave it null. You leave it null, that's default out of the box. Everybody knows what it is. You want to set it to something different. VTP domain forkug. Now, we have a forkug domain, and this is important. You see there's the 4, and then the CU and the G are all lowercase. If you went to another switch and tried to join it to the forkug domain, but you typed in 4 capital C, UG, that would not work. That would be a different domain. The domain name is case sensitive. Let's give it a VTP password. If you ever forget what your password is, that's a very handy command. Do show VTP password. So, I mean, you can't just go in, and you have to be in enable mode and already have access to the switch in order to get this. If somebody is just able to go in and pull off your configuration file or anything, they're not going to be able to find this out. This is encrypted within, but since, hey, you obviously already have permission to be in here, we're going to pull that password out and show it to you. Now, let's see. VTP. Now, these are the different things that you can do within VTP. Let's see, VTP mode. Oh, we already did that. Where's the version? So, by default, we're using VTP 1. Let's go ahead and move it to version 2. So, now we're running revision 2 of VTP. We also want to enable VTP pruning so that we're not sending all of our broadcasts across a trunk link, which is really kind of defeating one of the purposes of using VLANs. So, to enable pruning, really difficult, VTP pruning. Okay, done. Now, we have the basic information. We have all of the, back-end stuff configured for our VTP and our VLANs. Really, really simple to set up. As you can see, we just did it in a couple of minutes. Now, comes the more interesting part. We've now laid the infrastructure for setting up our VLANs. Now, we're going to actually set up our VLANs. So, setting up a VLAN, again, really difficult. VLAN 101. Now we've created a new VLAN called VLAN 101. Let's give it a name so it's easier to figure out. I like the idea of giving it names based on what are we going to use that VLAN for. So name, accounting. We're going to assign this VLAN to all of our accounting computers. So now when you pull up and you do a list of your VLANs, you can go, oh, I wonder what VLAN 101 is. Oh, it's for my accounting department. Let's set up a couple of other VLANs here. I don't have to jump out or go down to a lower mode in my configuration. It'll automatically figure out what I'm doing. VLAN 102. Name PR, our public relations department. VLAN 103. And we're going to use that for our telephony system. Oh, oops. Gotta put name in there. And VLAN 99. Name. Management. Okay, now we've just created VLAN 99 through 103. Really pretty simple. VLANs aren't really rocket science. There are a lot, and the theory behind them is much harder to grasp than actually employing them, I think. Cisco makes it very easy to set this stuff up. Now we have our VLANs. So let's set up and assign VLANs to some different interfaces here. So interface range, not rate, range. Oh. Fast Ethernet 0/1 through 1 through 8. Oh, hold on. New switch. I forget how this guy shows interfaces. Different switches have, aha, that's why. It uses the new terminology or different terminology. Depends on the switch. Since it's a stackable switch, it has another number in front there. It uses a 3 number. So it shows which switch in the stack you're on, and yeah, which blade, and then which port. So let's go back. /0/1 through